Here now with reaction, the author of the best-selling book, In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome, and Coulter. And to me, this comes down to a very simple, basic, fundamental choice. The inconvenience of a few guests that want the privilege to be here, the inconvenience, or the gambling with the lives of the American people. Why is that such a hard decision for people?
No, and you're right in your monologue. Why can't we learn from Western Europe? Just a few weeks ago, German intelligence reports that 1,000 German residents have gone to fight with ISIS. Hundreds of them have come back to Germany, and what does Merkel do? She's setting them up with welfare because, you know, if they don't have a lot of welfare, that could radicalize them. Why don't we believe what these migrants say? They come to countries, they rape women. They're having a very difficult time learning not to rape women, even if they're infidel whores and have short skirts. What other immigrant group could not stop itself from raping masses of women? They march around saying, no, you're going to live under Sharia law. They commit terrorist acts. It's right in front of our eyes. And can you imagine? I mean, what Merkel has done is spreading throughout Western Europe. But just in Germany alone, combining German military discipline with Islamic ideology, it's terrifying what we're up against. Why would you do that in this country? And meanwhile, they keep trying to distract us with Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia is probably one of our better allies in the fight against Islam. They've been dealing with these Islamic terrorists for centuries now, and you remember, they're the ones who warned America about the Tsarnaev family that blew up the Boston Marathon. But no, our government officials wouldn't listen. Let's just worry about Russia now that how long ago did Reagan win the Cold War? It's over.
It's 6 months of a conspiracy lie. I mean, it's been nonstop. Here's a really tough question. I know you'll touch it, but so many are afraid to touch it. If you grow up under Sharia and you're a man and you think you have the right to tell women they can't drive, travel, they've got to dress a certain way, they can't be seen in public without a male relative, if you think you can throw gays and lesbians off of big buildings and kill them or hang them, if you persecute Christians and Jews, how do we know? How do you ever vet somebody's mind and heart? If your culture, you grew up, that's what you learned, which directly contradicts our constitutional values. How do we vet that? Is that possible even?
No, you're absolutely right. In addition to the fact that there is no, Syrian FBI, they don't have a computer database, and there was testimony before the Senate last year saying there's nothing to vet. There's nothing we can look at. I also think it's worth mentioning, maybe you've shown these, and if you haven't, you should. I tweeted it out a few weeks ago, photos of women going to college in Afghanistan not that long ago. It was in the 70s, and it looks like an American college campus. They're wearing, skirts and button-down shirts and carrying their book bags. Things can turn overnight when you're bringing in these masses of people from very, very different cultures and make it a hate crime to ask them to assimilate, for the cherry on top. And they have no intent of assimilating. Plus, what are we getting out of this? It's one thing if we're bringing in nuclear scientists or engineers. I don't think we're getting a lot of those. But the vast majority of refugees are just instantly coming in, sucking up welfare that's meant for our people.
Yeah. Let me ask you a political question. One of my favorite clips of the snowflake left is you were on your buddy Bill Maher's show, and it's like June or July of 2015, and you say, yeah, Donald Trump has the best chance of winning, and the crowd just is laughing at you. I don't think they're laughing now. So you've been a very strong supporter. I'm pretty angry with the Republican Party. They seem ill-prepared, especially on repeal and replace, and it seems like the president is trying to clean it up. Hopefully they get there. Hopefully they get consensus. Are you happy with how things are going so far?
On most things, I'm disappointed with the Republican Congress. First of all, they ought to be impeaching those 2 travel ban judges immediately. It is totally outrageous. It is against the Constitution. The president, and by the way, every member of Congress, took an oath to uphold the Constitution. The commander-in-chief has authority over immigration. He has full authority not only through the Constitution and his duties as commander-in-chief, but through a federal law passed by Congress that's been on the books and reaffirmed in hundreds of Supreme Court cases, or rather court cases, at least a dozen Supreme Court cases. This is 100% the prerogative of the commander-in-chief, and to have a district court judge stepping in and saying, oh, no, the commander-in-chief doesn't have that duty. What else is it? Could a district court just say, oh, no, we're overruling your decision to go to war because, you know, someone in Hawaii could be affected? This is what we need Congress doing. I was hoping for a better repeal of Obamacare. Sean, they've had 7 years to work on it, and no one in Washington seems to understand the free market.
Yeah, they've had 8 years.
You know, I'll hold our Emperor God Trump harmless on Obamacare. That really isn't his job. He's supposed to be building the wall, deporting illegals, imposing the refugee ban. But with looking at the massive resistance a pro-American president we finally have, looking at the resistance he's getting, he could use an assist from Republicans in Congress, and other than a handful of them, he's not getting it.